Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Dr. T, Ph.D, the prodigy of sports psychology, ready to welcome one of the best guests, my favorite guest in fact, right here on GoTarryn TV, Ms. Elsie Trawick. Now before Elsie returns back here on GoTarryn TV, I'd like to ask everyone out there if you please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Every time we see Elsie come back here on GoTarryn TV, she shows why she's the best. She demonstrates her knowledge and experience of what healthy eating means, how to live gluten-free, and some other things to deal with when you have different types of allergic reactions to food or intolerances or even celiac. And she's going to go through all of that today and give us some positive energy and some positive reinforcement of what we could do to clean our act up. And that involves eating better and living a healthier lifestyle. And there's no one that I know who can do that better than Elsie Trawick. So she'll be returning here right here momentarily. And before Elsie Trawick returns back here on the GoTarryn TV, remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time. It's your investment. It's your life. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back everyone. As I promised, here side by side today on GoTarryn TV, we're welcoming back once again Ms. Elsie Trawick. Elsie, how are you doing out there today?
I'm fine. How are you doing? It's so good to be talking to you today.
You too, thank you, and appreciate you coming back. And today, I'm so excited. What are we going to be talking about to all the people out there today, Elsie?
Oh, it's spring, and
That's right.
so let's talk about detoxing
Good
and
idea.
how important or how many, important detoxing is important.
Right.
People may not know exactly what a detox is. It's a term that's being used quite a lot now in the health world.
Okay.
And I think every coach has a detox program.
Uh-huh.
And I think I also have a detox program, so I'm excited to be here and talk about this today.
Oh, that's wonderful, Elsie. Yeah. So, as far as detoxing goes, what is detoxing and why is it important?
Well, by definition, detox is a process or a period of time in which one abstains from or rids the body of toxic or unhealthy substances.
Oh, I see.
So for a lot of us, we know a lot of people have, you'll see a 7-day juice cleanse,
Mm-hmm.
or intermittent fasting is used. And intermittent fasting and restricted eating are two terms of art we hear a lot now. And
Okay.
intermittent fasting is actually where you have periods of fasting
Okay.
mixed in with, and then you might eat a specific diet or specific food or smoothies, blends during the periods when you are able to eat food.
Okay.
And then restricted eating, which a lot of people call intermittent fasting, is actually where you eat only, say, from 9 to 6 p.m. And then that gives your body a 12 to 15 hour, 16-hour period with no food. And it's just pressing, and Whole Foods, Whole 30
Right. That
is
makes sense.
a detox. It's with Whole Foods. So
Yes.
you're basically
Yes.
pressing reset on the body, giving it an opportunity to reset
Okay.
itself using foods or juices or specific colonics to detox the body.
Okay.
So there are ways to do this, and it's very popular. And actually, I'm a big a fan of detoxing. Some people do it once a year. Some people do it on a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
You'll read a lot about how fasting is actually coming back. And I'm not talking about intermittent fasting or restricted eating, but we're truly fasting. Several people will build up to where they can fast for maybe 2 to 3 days in a row, just using hydrating fluids to keep them going. And you'll see this sometimes with elite athletes, people who are really, their body isn't functioning as a high performance machine, and they do different things too. But for the average person like you and me, doing a whole food detox,
Mm-hmm.
like the Whole30, using whole foods where you eliminate trigger foods,
Mm-hmm.
known trigger foods that aren't good for our body, but we eat consistently,
Mm-hmm.
is a great way to detox. I do not do juice cleanses
Okay.
or colonics or things like that. If you're going to do something like that, make sure you're under a practitioner's care,
Mm-hmm.
because you can, especially with juicing or using juices, you can
Yeah.
get a lot of diarrhea, and
Mm-hmm.
that dehydrates the body. So you really want to be under a practitioner that does know what they are doing. It's like, don't buy the box of 7-day cleanse and take
Mm-hmm.
all these things and then a lot of diarrhea and say, oh my goodness, I feel great, yet you're dehydrated
Mm-hmm.
and you lost a lot of your electrolytes.
Oh.
That's not a detox.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad for you. So you really want to read up on what you're planning to do. I know several Studio in the Heights, which is a wellness health
Mm-hmm.
and workout studio, fitness studio in New York City. They offer also a detox. I don't know how often they do, but they manage it. They know what they're doing. They've done this before
Mm-hmm.
and they've researched it. So you've got some guidelines, and so work with a practitioner
Okay.
to figure out what you need to do. Detoxing is a great way to reconnect with your body. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great way to give yourself a spring break on all the junk food we eat and alcohol and sugary beverages. It is a great way to just reset
Yeah.
and start clean. And also for people who are suffering, like I know some people have, they get skin rashes. Dermatitis herpetiformis is a form of celiac disease, and it's a skin rash.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes just recently been diagnosed with this. Doing a small, like maybe a 3-day detox, is really actually good for you
Mm-hmm.
and can help give you a jump start. I know several people do green smoothies to detox, where they'll do, um, again, it's like intermittent fasting or restricted eating. They'll start their day with a green smoothie and they
Mm-hmm.
won't eat real food until later in the day, and let the greens, because they're packing their smoothies with kale and spinach and collard greens, getting a lot of their nutrients from the greens,
Hmm.
which are highly nutritional intense and packed with lots of vitamins and minerals and things our bodies need that we're not getting a lot of.
Mm.
So when we look at our diet, it's like, what do we eat? We eat a lot of processed foods. We eat
Mm-hmm.
a lot of prepared foods. We eat a lot of refined carbohydrates. We eat
Mm-hmm.
a lot of sugar. Even sugar's in everything. It's in the food we eat, the beverages we drink. And that's probably the biggest. Those right there stack the cards against us health
Mm-hmm.
wise and nutrient wise. So detoxes are a great way to come back in to center and bring our bodies back to neutral.
Excellent.
I I have a strong preference because I'm all about food and what we're eating, and through my coaching program, I get people back on eating whole foods,
Mm-hmm.
not processed, prepared, packaged foods, but eating whole foods. So I love the Whole30
Mm-hmm.
and a whole foods detox, where you're kicking out trigger foods. You're kicking out the sugar, kicking out dairy, kicking out legumes, and there's a whole list of things. So you're really eating fruits, whole fruits, vegetables, lean proteins,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. You
Sounds
got
very helpful.
vegetables and
Mm-hmm.
proteins. So you're eliminating trigger foods and you're
Mm-hmm.
doing whole foods detox. the joy of that is you really are getting to see how the foods you eat have affected your body.
Hmm.
You don't necessarily get this with a juice cleanse or another type of cleanse,
Hmm.
but by eliminating certain trigger foods and staying on whole foods, you
Hmm.
really, number one, you're not starving.
Hmm.
You can eat real food, but the foods that we eat a lot of are what we crave. So
Hmm.
when we eat a lot of sugar, we eat a lot of refined carbohydrates, we eat a lot of starches,
Hmm.
that's what our bodies crave.
Hmm.
Eliminating those foods, you are going to have some cravings, and that's, it's like, I really want my popcorn. And also there's the mind game we
Hmm.
play. The moment you say, well, I'm going to cut out sugar for 3 days, all of a
Yeah,
sudden you want sugar. It's,
exactly. Yeah.
the mind can work against us and work for us. So it's really, you gotta think about what is going to work for you, and something that you can learn from.
Hmm.
This is a time. It's not like, oh, I'm going to detox for 3 days and then move on and go back to
Right.
what I was eating before. It's
Hmm.
like, how do you feel after the 3 days? And the Whole30 is 30 days. It's a whole
Hmm.
month. The good thing is you're eating real food.
Yeah.
You're still able to get the crunch from nuts and seeds. You're still able to get the yum from a sweet potato,
Hmm.
and the nourishment and the greens and the lean protein. So you're not starving.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
it's a good way to cleanse, and that's another way of looking at detox, cleanse. I think they're the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
So I want to talk a little bit about a toxin, because
Hmm.
we want to cleanse or detox from the toxins. It's loosely defined as pollutants, synthetic chemicals, heavy metals, processed foods. All these negatively affect health. Sugar in high amounts, well, actually, sugar is a toxin. Our bodies don't respond well. We're not meant to eat as much sugar as we do. And that's why a lot of people crave sugary treats, is because you crave what you eat. If you eat a lot of sugar, you eat a lot of starch, that's what you're going to crave.
Yeah.
That's and the principle behind, like, crowding out. That's another term you hear a lot
Hmm.
in um, changing our diet. When you
Hmm.
crowd out the unhealthy food with the healthy food, the basics behind that is, again, you crave what you eat. You start eating better. You start eating more vegetables. You start snacking
Hmm.
on cucumbers, carrot sticks, pepper slices. Then your body is going to start craving those things as
Hmm.
you bring more in.
Makes sense.
Uh, the body also has its own ways to naturally detoxify. If you think about, that's what the kidneys and the liver do in our
Hmm.
bodies. Digestive system is made up of the cleansing systems are the liver, the kidneys, our digestive system, the skin, and the
Hmm.
lungs. These all help naturally detoxify our body.
Okay.
So we've got, when you think of doing a Whole30, when you think of doing a juice cleanse or a detox, you're assisting your internal organs
Hmm.
in detoxifying the body.
Hmm.
Most detoxes limit sugar or cut it out completely, and that means limiting alcohol, which,
Hmm.
for some of us it's can be hard to do, but
Yeah.
give it a try. Focus on sleep. Sleep is critically important to health anyway, and the
Hmm.
links between sleep and overeating and obesity and diabetes is more and more being noticed and really reflected in the literature.
Hmm.
Getting enough sleep is critical to our body functioning properly.
Hmm.
Because remember, when we get tired, what do? We turn to sugary foods to give us energy to
Hmm.
go through the day. So being tired depletes your system, and then you start eating more sugar, more refined carbohydrates, more starches for energy. That's what
Yeah.
your body knows you're sleep deprived.
That's true. Hmm.
More water. Water, just plain clear water. You don't need to put anything in it. You don't
Hmm.
need herbal teas. They're great, but we really need to focus on drinking more water, especially if you're cleansing and detoxifying the body. Getting more water into your body. Reduce your intake of what I've already said, sugar and processed foods.
Okay.
Eat antioxidant-rich foods, whole foods, vegetables, greens in particular.
Yes.
Dark leafy greens.
All good.
Eat
Very
foods
good.
high in prebiotics. Decrease your salt intake and sodium, salt. So look at labels of what you're eating. And get active. Start getting outside. The weather's turned. It's beautiful. So start getting outside more, taking those morning, afternoon, and evening walks, getting out, run, being able to work outside. Luckily, things are starting to slowly open up again. So
yes.
I'm thinking we'll be back in gyms.
Yes.
Back to your workout. A couple of other helpful detox tips are switching to natural cleaning products. So think of not only the physical person, but also your environment. Dusting. Dust is an allergen. So make sure you're cleaning your surfaces, getting rid of, don't look at my office because it's completely cluttered with paper, because I'm actually was one of the things I'm trying to do is detoxify my office by getting paper. So I'm like not printing articles. I'm saving them and reading them online.
That's good.
But just cleaning your surfaces, getting rid of the dust, and use natural cleaning products. White vinegar is a great way to clean and keep fresh and clean. Choose natural body care products. Products, makeup products, things that don't have a lot of chemicals. If you can't pronounce it, and, it isn't natural if you can't pronounce it.
That's true. That's a good point.
Getting back to staying hydrated. If you're physically exercising a lot, want to replace the salts. Maybe instead of going to the Gatorades and the Powerades, get some Pedialyte, some of the unflavored Pedialyte, and mix it with your water or your beverages that you're drinking. But also now, think about why you're detoxing. Maybe while you're doing your detox, keep a journal. How do you feel? What's happening with your body, especially in my program, which is a Whole 30, and it's 30 days of eating whole foods. Again, you're not eating at all the sugar, grains, dairy. There's a lot of legumes. You're kicking those to the curb for 30 days, but you are able to eat whole foods and make satisfying, delicious meals that are really healthy. We journal as part of this process because the 30-day whole food detox is to get rid of trigger foods that may be harming your health and harming your mind. Brain fog is a big issue with people suffering from autoimmune. Brain fog is with chronic fatigue. People have brain fog with chronic fatigue. People have brain fog with eating gluten. And if you're sensitive, non-celiac gluten sensitive, or celiac gluten sensitive, brain fog is a big side effect or symptom of the food you're eating is not agreeing with you. Skin rashes, on the face, acne, joint issues, joint pain. So those are all symptoms that foods aren't agreeing with you. I can go on with another long list. So do a detox, journal, and see how you feel. What's going on with my body right now? How does your skin look? So think of in the Whole 30 speak, it's non-scale victories. How does your skin look and feel? How does your body look and feel? How does your brain look and feel? Are you getting better sleep at night? About breathing. allergy season is big right now. Everything's blooming. We've got lots of pollen, but not
Definitely.
necessarily our sinus and allergy symptoms. They may be caused by foods you're eating, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily your environment.
It's true.
So,
Mm-hmm.
keeping a journal while you detox and describe your symptoms before, how you feel before, then during, do it daily, do a check
Yeah.
in with yourself, and then after, how do you feel?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
And I'm offering, I've got a program coming up. It's a 5-week course, it's a whole 30. And
Hmm.
we've got first week is introduction, getting your pantry ready. And also, if you're doing a cleanse detox and you've got a lot of trigger foods like that you like to eat your go-to, and you're giving up dairy, but you love your half and half in your coffee, you don't have
Yeah.
to necessarily throw those away. You could take them over to a friend's house so they're not available in your house.
Oh, okay.
You can
Mm-hmm.
always pack up your pantry, take it over somewhere safe, or if you're, you can use that last week to eat up everything in your house, empty to get ready. Then we jump into the 30-day detox,
Okay.
whole foods,
Yeah.
and then we have a 2-week reintroduction period where you slowly reintroduce foods back into your diet to see how your response is. I know
Yes.
one family, the husband wanted to do a whole 30. It was a corporate program I was leading at work, and he wanted to do it. So the family decided, you know what, we're all going to do this for 30 days.
Great.
And
Oh,
they
nice.
realized that their youngest son had a gluten sensitivity. And
Huh.
over that 30 days, being without gluten, a lot of issues that he was having disappeared. So now the whole
Nice.
family is gluten free because it helps their younger son.
That
He
is
was having
wonderful.
behavior problems. He was inattentive, couldn't focus. And when they got him off the gluten, they realized it was a gluten allergy.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember if he was diagnosed with celiac or if it was
Mm.
non-gluten sensitivity,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm non-celiac gluten sensitivity. I don't have celiac disease, but I keep gluten free because gluten just does not agree with me. And I've been gluten free since 2009. And
Mm-hmm.
have I have periodically after about 5 or 6 years, I did purposely reintroduce some gluten. And again, my symptoms, the brain fog, the digestive distress, the joint aches, all came back. So
Hmm.
non-celiac gluten sensitivity is real,
Yeah.
and it is just as intense and negative for the body as being diagnosed with celiac, which is the true allergy to gluten. You can also be allergic to wheat,
Hmm.
not gluten, but allergic to wheat. You can be with the dairy allergies. You can be allergic to casein. You can be allergic to lactose. It's
Mm-hmm.
not dairy. It may be parts of that of dairy, of the food that you're sensitive to.
Yeah.
A lot of people are sensitive to soy.
True. Mm-hmm.
So, and anybody, this is another tip I learned when I was diagnosed. I went because I had, and also I had good insurance. I went and I had a full blown um, allergens panel done,
Hmm.
both environmental and food, to determine what was going on with my body. We knew I was reacting to gluten.
Mm-hmm.
So what else am I reacting to? So that's recommended if you are find that you have sensitivities and allergies. Go ahead and get the full panels done so you know you've got it on paper what you're sensitive to and what you're
Hmm.
allergic to. It's
Oh.
critical. Feel a lot better, and your health will be a lot better when you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's so amazing, Elsie, that you slowly were trying to reintroduce gluten intentionally, and then you had all those symptoms. I'm just thinking about that too. That's so telling. That's just so obvious, what gluten, how that reacts, for just people, even if they're not sensitive to it, what's doing it to their body.
Yeah, and one thing, the
Gosh.
uptick, gluten sensitivity is on the uptick. But what a
Yes.
lot of people don't realize is
Mm-hmm.
back when they hybridize the wheat to get a bigger yield of wheat and uh, reframe it so they could grow it faster.
Yes,
They
yes, that's
up
right.
the gluten intake, up the gluten amount that is actually in the wheat itself.
Oh, okay, okay. Gosh, wow, that's incredible too.
Yeah, it is. It's
Mm,
interesting. Foods, foods. What we put in our body, we need to. That's why I'm so proponent for labeling.
yeah,
Really being able to identify and see what's in the food we're eating, and not just have lumped categories, but actually know what's in our food, so you can make an informed decision about what you're eating.
yeah. That's so, so true, Elsie. That is so helpful. Everything that you've covered here is just so interesting, and I think it's very helpful for people to consider, even if they're not allergic to gluten, so say, but maybe if they just want to try and see if it makes a difference going
Yeah.
off of it. I wonder, if there's other symptoms that might
Well,
get better.
gluten, dairy, in the whole
Mm-hmm.
food, you give up the whole 30. You
Yeah.
give up dairy,
Yeah. Yeah.
gluten, all grains, whether they're
Wow.
containing or non-gluten containing,
Wow.
all forms of sugar, natural and man-made and
Gosh.
liquid and
Yeah.
chemical, legumes.
Huh.
Did I say dairy? Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think I did. Anyway,
Dairy
there's a
too.
whole
Sure.
list of things you give up, but you can still, I mean, you're still eating whole foods. You're still eating lots of greens, lean proteins. It's a great way to detox. I'm introducing the program. Will start in June,
Okay. June. Okay.
and you can for more information on the program. I'm actually going to be doing a mini workshop the last week of May,
Hmm.
the week of Memorial Day. I think it's going to be the workshop's going to be on that Wednesday. I
Okay.
think, or I may have it the week before. I got to look at my calendar, and my phone and my calendar are not here beside me. But I'm going to do a mini workshop. It'll be about 2.5 hours about detoxing,
Mm-hmm.
about the whole 30, and what that means for your body and how to do it. And then I'll invite you to the actual program, which will start in June.
Awesome, Elsie. That's going to be tremendous. Can you go ahead and please tell everyone out there how they can subscribe to you and if they're wanting to sign up for the program and get in touch with you if they want to work with you?
Yes, that would be great. You can call me at 404-788-1610. Also message me at that number. You can reach out to me on Elsie Trawick Wellness Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
or Elsie Trawick Wellness. Elsie Trawick Facebook, my personal page, or my business page on
Okay.
Facebook, and on LinkedIn, Elsie Trawick on LinkedIn. Not on Instagram yet. I'm working on that right now. And my website, working on my website, so I'll have that up soon. But again, call or text 404-788-1610, or reach out to me on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Perfect, Elsie. Yeah. Well, again, you covered so much in such a short amount of time. I can't believe 30 minutes always just flies by so quickly with you. But thank you again for all of the advice that you gave us here. This is just so helpful. And I'm starting something new on these video blogs at the end. You've pretty much summarized everything beautifully. And just as a reiteration here, what are three pieces of advice, Elsie? Just three bullet points, three primary things that you want people watching right now, if nothing else, if they've watched this for the first time or meeting you for the first time, what are three ways that you would suggest people right now today, on an end note here, just to summarize things that you want them to start doing today?
Start doing today is drink more water.
Uh-huh.
Just plain water.
That's an
You don't
awesome one to
add
start with.
anything to it. Just drink more water. I like mine room temperature, but
Okay.
if you want, drink it cool. I don't put ice in it, but if you do and you want ice, just drink more water,
Okay.
pure water. The other thing is to up your vegetables, up your plant intake.
Yeah, good
Start,
one.
add more vegetables to
Love
your
it.
diet.
Oh,
At least
yes.
make half your plate vegetables.
Oh, great.
So when you're
Yeah.
looking at your plate like this, half of it vegetables.
Excellent.
Get more
Excellent.
plants in your life. And the third one is focus on your sleep.
Oh,
Sleep is
yes.
critically important.
I need
Um,
that one.
Not only is it a great it's also a great reset for your body,
Mm-hmm.
but lack of sleep and poor sleep is directly linked with type 2 diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
heart disease, obesity. So it's a trigger to poor health.
Mm. Mm.
Drink more water, eat more plants, and make sure you're getting enough sleep. At least start with, even if you're not, go shoot for 6 hours a night to start.
I'm going to start that today. Those are three things I'm going to try myself this weekend. And Elsie, thank you so much for breaking down detoxification for us today. That was just so helpful. I learn so much every time I do these with you myself, and I know everyone out there as well. So once again, we will make sure to get your contact information as we fade to black. I love doing these with you all the time, Elsie. Let's please get another one in next month. I appreciate you doing these again for taking time out of your busy schedule. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, Elsie.
Oh, thanks so much. You too. Yeah, the weather's gorgeous here. And I've got a flotilla of vegetables because we've had some cold snaps at night. So all my vegetables aren't in my garden yet. They're on my screened-in porch. And I've got to get them in the ground. So that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend.
Oh, good for you. Maybe the next video blog we could go outside and take a look at the vegetable garden, see how that
Oh,
is.
I'd love, yeah, that'd be
That would be
great.
fun. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you again, Elsie. And as we fade to black, here comes your contact information on the screen right now. We will see you.
Thanks, Taryn. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.